Hi, this is Amrita from BizAsiaLive.com, and I am very happy and very proud to welcome Harpreet Kaur, the winner of this year's The Apprentice, for an interview with BizAsia. Hi, Harpreet, how are you?
Hi, I'm great, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for taking out the time to talk to me. I know from your social media you've had a really busy week post the announcement that you are crowned winner. How have you felt? Like this week must have felt like a bit of a whirlwind.
It's been an absolute whirlwind. It's been amazing. It's just been completely surreal. I think mixing it in with actually running my business as well, it's been absolutely nonstop. But yeah, it's just the most amazing feeling. I'm so happy.
I know this. So you're on your social media. You know you've kind of touched on the fact that it's actually gone a bit mad for you. But I
Yeah.
just wanted to ask: is this what you expected? Did you expect it to be such a rush, so to speak? And also, you kind of rebranded into Oh So Young, which we saw on the final episode of The Apprentice. Did you expect it to be this mad?
I mean, I don't think anything can prepare you for this because I've never been on television before. I wasn't really 100% active on social media. For the past 6 years, I've just been running my dessert brand and really trying to grow it to the level that I could. And I knew that The Apprentice would really get me on a platform that would allow me to grow my business regardless of whether I won or not. But obviously, I've won the show and yeah, I don't think I really expected this. This is all new to me. And the amount of positive messages and support that I'm getting are actually really touching. Like, I'm getting people saying that I'm inspiring them or that I've given them a boost. And I never expected to do that. So that's a really nice side to it for me.
Yeah, I can totally see how that, even watching your journey on The Apprentice, I think I can understand how you are inspiring so many women, but also so many people in the Asian community. I know you mentioned in one of your videos that a lot of people have highlighted to you that you're the first winner of Asian descent of The Apprentice. How does that feel? Because obviously you wanted to do The Apprentice. I watched on your fire that it was one of your favorite shows, but you wanted to do The Apprentice obviously to get your business to grow and learn so many skills, so to speak. But how do you feel that people have kind of now seen you as the first person of Asian descent and kind of just saw you as inspiring in that way as well?
I'm just so happy that I'm able to represent a strong female Asian, business person or leader. I think in the Asian community, there's so many of us, male and female, that have businesses or that work really hard. And sometimes there isn't that representation out there in the public eye. But also for females, for me, I've never ever let gender come in the way of my goals, but it doesn't mean that there haven't been comments or just a sort of general feeling that actually women should settle down, have children, and that's kind of your thing. And then if you have a career or a business, it's more seen as a hobby rather than your full-time goals. Whereas I feel sometimes with men, if they start a business, it's seen as, oh wow, he's so motivated and so driven, well done to him. So I'm so happy that I'm able to kind of represent females in a strong way, but also just the general Asian community, because there's plenty of us here in the UK. And it's just nice that I can be one of the many faces out there, hopefully doing a good job of representing us.
Yes, absolutely. I think you started off, when I say started off, I mean started off in The Apprentice. I think it was a really good journey to see a female on. But as you say, it is something that you are kind of breaking barriers in a way with the mindsets we have in the Asian community. I've got to ask you, because you already had a business when you went into The Apprentice, as you say, you've already had it for a number of years. What did you find you learned about yourself in the process, which perhaps you didn't know in the 6 years that you've been running the business?
I actually really enjoyed the process because when you run your own business, obviously I do work with my sister as well, but when you run your own business, you don't have the benefit of anyone giving you a pat on the back or really gauging how well you're doing other than your own company performance. You're kind of left to it and you're on your own. But going into the process, it actually really helped my confidence because I actually realized my potential and that I can actually drive things to success. So being able to bounce off other people, kind of harness different skills, kind of displayed to me what I'm capable of and just gave me that boost. So I think that's the biggest thing for me. It just allowed me to put myself into an environment that I would never have been able to achieve just in reality. So I think I learned my own personal style. I never really realized how direct I am before. But I think that style obviously works for me. So I think I need to kind of embrace that and own it.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think it is one of those things that maybe people didn't expect, but kind of I think kind of cherished at the end of it, because you were respected, but you were quite direct. I've got to ask you, because I know my parents and I, when we were watching, I think out of your highlights in the entire series, I think we remembered the rice. But did you have a personal highlight in the whole journey that you had with Lord Sugar and the Apprentice contestants?
I think everybody's going to remember the rice episode, aren't they? It was actually really fun being in the kitchen. I know it didn't look like we were having fun, but those were my favorites, were definitely being in the kitchen. But yeah, my personal favorite was probably week number 4. That was the first time I was project manager, and it was a fish task. It was so difficult. I had to create a dish, price the dish, ask a team in Cornwall to create the dish and sell it. I had to gut fish and sell it as a wholesale piece. It was really tough, and I was so happy because I won that task. And for me, it proved to Lord Sugar that I'm capable of big things. So yeah, that was definitely my favorite.
Oh, amazing. I think I was actually saying to my parents actually that whenever you had something to do with cooking or food, you were so good at it, and the flavors and stuff like that, and even if it didn't turn out as you wanted to, the flavors were always praised. So I wanted to ask you, is cooking something, I know you obviously have a dessert business, but is cooking something that you're passionate about?
Come on, I'm Desi, I'm Indian. We have to be, don't we? We've got no option. I love good food. I think actually my passion for cooking has actually come in only the past few years. I just loved exploring different flavors. And I think being Asian, you know, it's kind of instilled into us from a young age that, you know, if guests come round, you know, you feed them, you look after them. And, you know, it's kind of, the kitchen is a very big central hub. So I think that's kind of the roots in me kind of coming out. And yeah, I actually really enjoy being in the kitchen. And at the moment, I'm always just really busy with work, so I don't get as much time as I would like to cook and explore different flavors. But I love it when I do, and everyone always really enjoys my food. And yeah, it makes me happy.
Amazing. I kind of thought you would say that, because you're right. When you're kind of an Asian, you do kind of have it instilled in you that you need to kind of know what you're doing in the kitchen. So I've got to ask you, actually, in your journey, you were very confident from the start. How did you remain so? Like you said, you were a little bit out of your comfort zone. You wanted to do this process, but it wasn't something, you know, it was completely new to you. How did you remain confident, and how did you kind of, even this could be with the rest of the contestants as well, how did the morale kind of remain high, because it felt like it did?
It was actually really, really difficult. We were so tired, we were exhausted. It's a really grueling process. I think a lot of it is to do with mindset. I have a really positive go-getter mindset, because what's the alternative? You can either just be a victim, and then you're not really going to get anywhere. So actually, you know, every experience, every day has to be a positive one, and you have to keep pushing. And I think that goes for general life and business. You know, there's so many things that we all have, so many plates that we all have to spin these days, especially as women. But just in general, our lives are very noisy and busy, and you have to be capable of keeping yourself going, because if not, you'll just come to a standstill. So I'm a very driven person, and I like bringing people along on that journey with me. And, you know, let's keep going, because yes, I took the competition very seriously because I wanted to win, but life's also about having fun. It's about enjoying the experience. And sometimes if it doesn't work out, that's okay, but at least you tried. So it's just about giving things a go and having fun.
Absolutely, totally agree with you. And off the back of that, I've got to ask you, because I think in the Asian community, when we've seen someone like you win such a big series, such a big show with Lord Sugar, it kind of cements the fact that we are actually capable of spinning those plates at once. But also, I think some people find it difficult. I know that the women around me who are successful find it quite difficult putting themselves first. So I wanted to ask you, do you take those moments to put yourself first at certain points of, I don't know, the week or the month or whatever? And do you have a kind of routine that, you know what, I need to reset and I'll take this time out to do it? And do you have support around you to be able to do that?
I love that question. I think it's something I've realized later in life, definitely. I think in the past, I've definitely been guilty of not thinking about myself or my needs. I'm a very family orientated person. So I'll always try and think of my mum or my niece or my sister first and make sure everyone is looked after. But sometimes there's a point where you do have to think about yourself because you can't do everything. So I think over the past couple of years, that's definitely something I've really tried to work on. I have like a little diary that I write in kind of every night. I'm a big believer of being grateful, gratitude, and just writing out and saying out what you're thankful for. And I'm actually going to have a little bit of time out today. I'm going to put a face mask on, a hair mask, and just take a couple of hours out for myself. For me, that's difficult because I'm actually a really social person. I love being with my family and I love doing things, but you have to find those couple of hours where you just take a moment just to put a candle on, put some good chill out music on, and just take a minute to catch up on just some time for yourself. So yeah, it's really, really important.
Thank you. I totally agree with you. And I had to ask you that question because I do feel like you had a bit of a whirlwind, and I think that's going to continue.
I know. It's not going to end now, is it?
No, but I hope you do find moments to kind of take a few hours out, as you say, and do whatever you need to do. And off the back of that question, I have to ask you, because BizAsia is basically quite inclined to Bollywood. I wanted to ask you, this isn't a question I want to sort of assume that you are into Indian movies, but do you watch Indian entertainment, Indian movies?
You can assume all you like. I'm a massive Bollywood fan.
You are.
I've grown up, I'm a 90s kid, so I've grown up on 90s Bollywood, all the romantic movies, and I think they've changed a little bit now. I wish I had more time to watch them because I've noticed a change in the movies. They cover a bigger variety of topics, and they're actually really entertaining. I'm always trying to get my English friends to watch them because I'm like, these are really good. Absolutely love Bollywood. Yeah, definitely.
So what kind of things have you watched when you've had the time, and not recently, but maybe in the recent couple of years? Is there anything you've watched that you've actually kind of felt stood out for you?
I'm a massive fan of Ranveer Singh. I think he's great. Love his movies. He's so funny. He's got a lot of character. I tell you who's also my favourite is Akshay Kumar. He's just so talented. He had a movie recently with Ranveer and with Ajay Devgan as well. Oh, loved that one. Yeah, Suryavanshi was really good. I love Kajol. I love all the old school movies. Sometimes I'll watch them over and over again. There's one called Hum Saath Saath Hai. I can never get over it. I'm always watching it. And I watched the cricket one recently as well. That was Ranveer again, wasn't it?
83.
I love those types of movies because I don't know, it makes you feel a little bit closer to your roots and understanding history in a different way as opposed to reading about it. So yeah, I quite like movies like that. Oh, I'll tell you a really good one. And it was, oh gosh, it's the Vicky Donor guy. I can never remember his name.
Ayushmann.
Yeah, he has a really good movie out, actually, covering a very tense topic. I'll have to try and remember to get back to you.
Is it his recent one from, I think it's streaming on Netflix, Chandigarh Kare Aashiki?
Chandigarh, yeah, that's the one. I actually really enjoyed that. And I think it covered a topic that's very, very sensitive, but hats off to him for doing it and pulling it off. I thought it was actually a really good movie.
I totally agree with you. That was I think a highlight of, I think for me, for his career. He's done so many films like that, but I think that was definitely a highlight. So I totally agree with you. Thank you so much for sharing that.
No problem. I'm not going to lie, because it's such a sensitive topic. I dare watch it with my dad. I was like, right, he'll have to watch it separately because we've still got that kind of those taboo subjects in Asian culture. But I'll find the courage to watch it with him one day.
Good luck to you, because I didn't watch it with my parents for that exact same reason. See where you're coming from. So I'm going to wrap up shortly, but I have to ask you, because we've been talking about entertainment and stuff, if there was an offer for acting coming your way, would you take it up?
So for me, I'm very business orientated. My business is my passion. I've never even thought of applying for a TV show before because it wasn't really my forte. But I think if something came along Bollywood wise, how could I say no? But I don't think my acting skills are up to scratch, so they'd have to be desperate to ask me.
No, you never know, like you said, something could come in the way of a surprise and you might get something coming your way. You never know.
You never know. It depends who else is in the movie. I'll think about it.
I know that you say yes if it's Ranveer Singh, at least I know that.
It's definite yes.
Thank you so much for sharing that. To wrap up, I'm just going to ask you one question, which I feel like might round it up, but not. There's been obviously a lot said about the Apprentice contestants this year and your friendship. And I know it's quite obvious that you all shared a really strong bond, even though you were kind of competing with each other, which I feel like is something quite alien for us in the Asian community. When someone is in competition with you, they remain in competition with you, and the friendship element sometimes doesn't quite work because your mindset isn't there. So how did you find it going into that kind of environment, and were you expecting to get such strong friendships when you came out of the process?
I like your question there, because I agree with you. I think being Asians, we are very, very competitive. And if someone's doing the same thing as we are, there's that kind of tension there. But there really doesn't need to be. And I've found over the past few years of setting up my business, including Asians, I've had a lot of support from people that are in the same industry, because there's room for everybody. We can all be successful. It doesn't mean if someone's doing the same thing as you that they you, or vice versa. So I actually think teamwork is really important. Empowering each other is really important. Just having these connections and support network can only open more doors for all of us. And yeah, we all really got on. It was a competition, but you also have to play as a team to get through every single week. So it's so nice meeting like-minded people. We're all a similar age. We all have similar interests. So I'm excited to, spend more time with them and see how their journeys pan out as well.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for touching on that, because as you can see from my question, I feel like it's quite a hard thing to do in the Asian community. And in this generation, I feel like it's quite hard for our elder generation maybe to understand that there doesn't have to be a competition. There can be some sort of a friendship included in anything you go through. So thank you for that. And it's really nice to see that you have ended up having so many great friends after you've ended the process. Harpreet, that was my last question. Thank you so much for spending the time on a Saturday morning to talk to me. I hope you have a lovely putting yourself first day. And congratulations again on being such an amazing winner and inspiring all of us.
Thank you so much, Amrita. Really enjoyed speaking with you. And yeah, let's all go have a great day and smash our goals.
Let's do that. Take care of yourself. Thank you for talking to BizAsia.
See you. Bye.